having to watch them after the fact. So,
Exactly. Yeah, that's usually what usually what we see. Okay, stream key.
hey, go to your house.
How old's your dog?
He'll be 4 Labor Day. Come here. Come
Aw,
here. Come see Ryan.
come see
Come here.
me.
Come here. Turn around. Ah, I'll ruin everything. Where is he? There he look. Say hi.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He looks
He's a
good.
Australian Shepherd.
My sister has an
Sorry,
Australian
I just
Shepherd
ruined the crowd.
named Archer. It looks so
His name is
similar.
Jaeger.
Jaeger. They're very
Jaeger.
similar.
Yeah.
That's
Jaeger.
awesome. Let's see. What's a good title? What? Let me ask you, because of course we can change this title later. But what do you feel? Um, let's see. What are we gonna give? So we're gonna inspire. That's the idea. Like our goal is
Mhm.
to get on here and inspire people
Go to your
to
house.
make this change for themselves, to really just, sorry, I'm thinking out loud, to be able
No, no, you're
to
good.
have the belief that that they can do it too. I mean, that's what it all starts with, belief, and then we can get into some actions too. So it will be, let's see, if I were to have a title for this, what would I title it? I would say like Kylie. Like, how would you finish this sentence? Right? Uh, Kylie has blank, but I'll give you some examples. The examples would be, one second. I know this is like a game show. So it would be like Kylie has felt energy she hasn't felt in years. Kylie has stayed on a healthy course while still living her life. Kylie has changed her body by changing little habits. Kylie's new habits now feel like just her normal life. What would be like that title for you? What do you think that would be?
Hmm. Kylie has finally figured out the lifelong change to betterment.
I love it. Let, Kylie has finally figured out lifetime. Uh, I want to say like lifetime body transformation or something. Lifetime change. Last lifetime habit change maybe.
Yeah, that'll work.
Lifetime habit change. All right, cool. I like it. Figured out. This will be episode whatever 78, I think. I believe 78. My God, 78. Crazy. All right, so we have that there. And then the last thing is just to go live. So let's do a quick testaroo. Let's put this over here. Share screen. Pull this up. And excellent. Okay, let me just do this. Does that work? It does. Amazing. Very nice. Okay, I think we're good to go. Before we get started, do you mind if I run to the bathroom? Because
No, go right ahead.
I am almost a gallon deep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, very back.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. We are. It's still living. We're live! Hey, we got
Hey.
it. Let's go. All right, we're going to tag everyone in a second, but I am joined by the lovely Kylie Majors. Woo!
Hello.
She's amazing.
Thank you.
While I'm getting this pulled up, I'm going to tag everyone. So for those of you who don't know Kylie, she's been a client with us now for, has it been 6 months?
6
Yeah,
months.
6 months already. Time
6
flies.
months.
And we're going to hear a little bit of her story. The point of having Kylie come on is hopefully to inspire somebody who's out there that right now has tried and failed a lot of times in the past, and they're trying to muster up the belief of like this time could be different, but it's tough to do when there's a lot of those a lot of the yo-yoing on the scale in the past. But Kylie is hopefully going to inspire all of us. No pressure. No.
No pressure. Not at all.
So Kylie, why don't you just give us like a little bit of a backstory? Just maybe introduce yourself first, and then we'll go into a backstory. So, how long you been an RN? Just anything about you. I know you have a dog named Jaeger.
Yep. Australian Shepherd. He'll be for Labor Day.
Yeah.
I'm Kylie. I have been a nurse for 24 years. I have been in oncology nursing for the last 17 years. Part of that was clinic. Most recently, I'm in infusion, so I hang chemotherapy all day. I live in Oklahoma, which is really hot right now. It's crazy hot. I have been on this journey for many years. I have tried just about everything out there. I was successful on what we call packaged meal deal, where I lost 60 pounds.
Wow.
But without the correct transition, I gained all of it plus some back. And that was probably 5 or 6 years ago. Well, probably more than that, probably closer to 8. But anyway, so I saw one of Coach Ryan's RN Body Transformation 7-day challenge back in December of last year. And I thought, what? This is ridiculous. I mean, I'll be honest.
What made you go, this is ridiculous? Was that before you heard me talk or after?
No, I was just like, what you're telling me is all I have to do is change 3 things in my life and I can be successful.
What were the 3 things?
And during that challenge was getting more sleep.
Yep.
Increasing my protein.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
And
isn't that cool?
Increasing the protein and positive self-talk.
Right.
Those
a
were the
weird
3
one to finish on, right? A lot of people don't see that, don't usually account for that last one. They're ready for like the crazy exercise regimen. And they hear self-talk.
Right. And you're like, what? This is ridiculous. And I'll be honest. And I saw some of some of the people who have done it in the past and they were successful and they've kept it off. And I thought, I have never been successful in any of my weight loss ever. I've always gained it back.
Yes.
I've never kept it off, as everybody claims. Oh, just do this. It's the magic secret,
Right.
And I did the free 7-day challenge and I had lost, I think, 3 pounds in that week.
Wow. That's awesome.
But just by increasing my water, increasing my protein, and my sleep still hasn't been the best, but I've been able to increase it by 30 to 45 minutes a night, which for me is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so that, that was a positive thing there. But the positive self-talk is definitely something that's needed.
Oh, yeah.
In this journey.
Oh, yeah.
I have been working with Coach Rachel
Yes.
who is amazing, by the
Isn't
way.
she? Yeah.
She's a great.
She's so good.
And she has also been able, and the other coaches, Coach Charity, and I know Coach Sharon. I haven't really held a lot of interaction with the newer guys,
Yeah.
but it's all about positivity. And, like you always say, you can't look at the day to day because the day to day does this.
Exactly.
You have to look at the overall picture. And when I've always done these, it's always been that day to day, and the scale. I have now
Yes. It
learned
tends
that the
to.
scale, don't get on the scale.
Don't do it. It's a negative
Don't
feedback loop.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is a negative feedback loop. And so that was leading into well, gosh, I'm up 2 pounds. So let's just throw out the kitchen sink and let's just, go eat some ice cream. I
Right.
mean, and so what I have learned in the 6 months, and you would think it's simple. I mean, it's basic stuff
It's
and
very
we know
simple.
it. We're
It's not.
nurses.
Yeah. It's not necessarily easy all the time to do, right? But it is extremely simple. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
we're nurses and we
Yes.
know what we're supposed to be doing. Like, and I tell people that I know what I'm supposed to do, but do I do it?
Right.
No. So this program has helped me with um really with the positive feedback loop more than anything.
Yes.
It's had me look at the big picture and not
That's
the
great.
day to day, you know, oh gosh, the scale's up 2 pounds. Now it's down 4 pounds. Now it's up 7 pounds. Like those are kind of wide because usually it's 2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it is a total mindset change,
Yeah.
and the positivity is huge. And Coach Rachel constantly has to be on me
Yeah.
because she's like, hey, look at the good that you are doing every day.
Yes.
Like, look at your positive things that you're accomplishing. Don't fret on the little stuff. And I've also, been in some of the chats in this group,
Yes.
and and this is life. This is
Yes.
real life,
Yes.
and things happen.
One thousand
And
percent.
you know, you have a goal. Like I have a goal every day of what I should be eating, how much water I should get. But life gets in the way and that doesn't always happen.
Yes.
And I've always been a black and white person. And if I didn't do it, it's over. Done.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm 6 months in and I'm still struggling, but it's better
Yes.
with the whole mentality of it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect,
Yes. Crucial.
And on this program, I can eat what I want.
Yes.
I'm not, I'm not in this
Right. No deprivation.
packaged. There's
Yes.
no deprivation.
Yes.
I can, if I want to eat a cookie, gosh darn it, eat a cookie.
Do it. Yeah.
Donuts are rampant at work sometimes.
Yes.
And, most days I feel like crap after I eat a donut.
Right.
And so I remember how I feel and say it's not worth it. But then there's those days where I'm like, I'm going to eat a donut.
Yes.
And that's, but it comes down to those basic, simple decisions that happen in life.
Yes. Yeah. You're touching upon so many amazing things. Like one of the ones, just really quickly, that you said, it's like, hey, I'm gonna have the donut sometimes, and you should, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't want to get deprived. And to your point, it's like, let's say that 1/5 of the time you decide to have the donut, fine, that's 20%. If you're eating optimal foods or healthy or whatever you want to call it, foods aligned
Mm-hmm.
with your goal 80% of the time, you have a fantastic body and like you're where you want to be over time. So it's like
Yeah.
80% is great. 50% is even great depending on where you're starting. I was telling this recently, I think to Brooke actually. No, none of our coaches are 100%. We all fall between
Right.
80 and 99%. So being 100% trying to be perfect is really a fool's errand. It doesn't exist,
Yeah.
because there's always going to be things that get in our way.
Yeah. Well, and for example, I was rocking it. Like everything was falling into place.
Oh, that's
I
awesome,
was
Kylie.
losing the 1 to 2 pounds a week. Like it was amazing. Like I was like, how is this happening? Because this,
Right. I'm not
this
starving
isn't,
myself. Yeah.
I'm not
This
starving
shouldn't be
myself.
working.
Right. It shouldn't have been working. Um,
Yeah.
and then I got a little gung ho and, um, probably did a little more exercise than I should have.
Oh yeah. You got really excited.
And yeah, well, started to develop knee issues
Ah.
to the point that life has now gotten in the way,
Mm.
and I can't, I was devastated. I can't right now do squats. I can't do lunges. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do a lot of the lower body workout. It hurts sometimes to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go see an orthopedic today, but that's a side story.
Sure.
But I talked to this, and this is the support in this program. If anyone, I know this, you're doing this for people, for free, and that is amazing. But if people do join your program,
Yep.
one of the things that I have had is the support from Coach Rachel. She has been able to adjust my workouts so that I still get a workout, but I'm just not using my lower body, which right now hurts
Right.
when I do it.
Right.
Um, but it's the ability to say life has happened, continue to move forward, do what you need to do to get it done. There are, like Coach Rachel said, there's options. Let's get your upper body going.
Yes.
So we don't want to over injure any of the upper body joints, but there are things that I can do to still stay on track.
Yes.
Now, my progress has slowed
Right.
some, which mentally I'm occasionally bummed about, but then
Yes.
I have to remember this is life.
Yes.
What is the end goal? You always talk about what's the end goal, and the end
Yes.
goal is to be able to continue this lifestyle
Yes.
to keep the end goal, which is to keep the weight off.
Yes. It's not the goal is not to be or the goal is not to get healthy. It's to stay healthy. It's to
Right.
not get to the goal. It's to stay at the goal forever. And to your point, it's like, yeah, by zooming out, and this goes back to like how we view things, right? That kind of CBT in a sense. But by zooming out, if we look at, the next 30 years, which is how long, for even 40 years, 50 years, maybe even 60 if we're all lucky, to maintain this weight once you lose it. The difference between losing it all by the time, like I'll say losing it all in 6 months from now versus 12 months from now, if we're so zoomed into the year, that feels like a big difference. But if we zoom out and we
Mm-hmm.
look at, well, I'm going to live to, let's just say I'm going to live to 100, the difference between getting to that goal when I'm 49 versus 49 and a half, or 42 and 42 and a half, doesn't really matter. What's
Right.
important is that you get there, and then you can also
Right.
be set up to stay there. But this is why human nature leads us on this path of up and down, because we're so emotionally attached to the outcome as soon as possible, and that
Right.
hinders us. It's almost like it's the story of the tortoise and the hare. It's like because we try to do it so quickly, we never get it and we lose.
Right.
Versus, being the unsexy
Right.
turtle. There we go. It's like that's what allows us to get there, and a lot of that is shaped by our beliefs. Like you were mentioning that before, and I thought you said it so well. It's like, yeah, there's a reason 90 to 95% of people gain the weight back that lose it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's they stop. Like that is the reason. So it's like
Yeah.
everything that our program does is, yes, in line to help you make sure mechanically you lose it, but it's also designed so you don't stop. Like that is the most important thing. So to your point, it's like, hey, I can't do these things. Well, Coach Rachel can modify, give you exactly what you need when you need it, whether it's the pep talk, whether it's changing the plan, whether it's, whatever it might be, so that you can just stay the path and then, of course, get to the point where you no longer need us. Like, as funny as it sounds, that's where we want you to be. We want you to be at this point where I know that's
Mm-hmm.
super small and nobody can probably see it on the recording or I know you can't see what I'm showing right now, but it's like to get to step 4, which is create your new fit identity, where now you believe this is who you are. The strongest force in human personality is staying consistent with the way we see ourselves. If we believe we are this person, it takes more effort to go against it than it does to just continue on. And that's the
Yeah.
point, or the position that you are now feeling, which is
Yeah.
amazing. It's the position
Yeah.
that I'm in, that our coaches are in, that our clients are in, that have had this like breakthrough. And we're all susceptible to going back to old habits. However, the likelihood of going back to old habits diminishes the longer we have this identity. And the example of that everyone I think here can identify with, or at least 90% of us, is being a parent. It's like, if
Yeah.
you identify as being a good parent, it takes a lot of effort to be a bad one, right? Like, I used the example, I was talking to one of my clients, and because she was trying to get this connection with her, and she had said she didn't feel the connection. And I said, well, just imagine like your son wakes up for school and you let him miss school for 9 days in a row. She goes, well, I'd never do that. And I'm like, exactly. Because after the first day or the second day, you'd be like, I'm pulled to go do this action because I'm not going to be a bad mom. Identity. So if you are a fit person, if you are this way, if we categorize us in self as this way, you win. The thing is, that's not a overnight thing. It's like an election, and every action you take is another vote for the person you want to become. And it just so happens that over the past year or two, you've made 20 or 30,000 votes that all of them might not be good. So moving forward, it just takes time. We have to collect the new evidence. We have to collect those new votes. And it sounds to me like you are over that hump, which is powerful. It sounds to me like you're over the hump of, hey, no, this is who I am? Question mark? Whoa, this is new. And now it's taking even more effort to even maybe fight against it, if it's, or less effort to just do the thing, and you're starting to feel pulled towards these actions. I don't know. Am I way off?
No, I would still say that, it's been 6 months, and like you said, it's not overnight. And initially I was like, no, like now, like it has to happen now. Nature. And then I have to remind myself, and I have some great coworkers too, who have been really supportive through this.
Good.
And they're like, and I'm like, well, I didn't put this on overnight. Like this has taken 20 years to put on, and it's not going to come off overnight. Like I'm going to have to work on it. It's going to have to be those habit changes.
Yep.
It's still real easy for me sometimes when I get off of work. I'm tired, and to be like, oh gosh, I got to work out. Like right. I still have those feelings.
Of course.
And I want people to know that it's normal.
It is normal. So I have those feelings.
It's normal to make changes and then end up going backwards. And I posted on a post on our like little group post that we have. I saw this thing on Facebook that basically says to dance, you have to learn that you have to step backwards to go forwards. And
I love that.
And this is the same thing. Sometimes we have to go backwards and see, oh, that isn't a good habit, to be able to move forwards and change it.
Yes. Yeah, we have to be aware to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then change. Wow, really well said.
I got to give, Coach Rachel, I got to give her kudos to have to deal with me.
She's incredible.
Because there are times where I get in touch with her and I'm like,
it's over. I'm not doing it. I quit. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but she reminds me that it's day to day and this is life.
Yes.
And it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay to have those feelings. I've never been an athletic person.
Yes.
I've never been one to be like, hey, let's go hit the gym, guys.
Yeah. I got free time. Let's go to the gym.
Right. I would rather, honestly, I'm one of those that would rather just sit on the couch and watch a movie. I'm not going to lie.
I get you. Yeah.
you know, but it's those habits. It's that, hey, I need to get my workout done first,
Yes.
and then I
Yes.
can watch that movie.
Yeah.
And it's those little mind shifts and those little life changes that get us where we're at. And
Definitely.
I can tell you, after 6 months, it's way easier. On we always have, what's the initial call that we have with you guys?
Your
What's
kickoff call or
the
your
kickoff call?
okay. Yeah.
Well, the call that I had where I talked with one of your intake people.
Oh, your one-on-one RN body transformation planning session. That
Okay.
short
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I can tell you that I don't know who, I don't remember at this point who I had, but it was a guy.
Connor,
And
maybe.
maybe it was Connor.
Yeah.
Um,
He's
I
great.
feel sorry for him
Why?
because I sat on there and I was in such desperation. I like broke down and cried on
Oh, a
that
lot of people
call.
do. Yeah.
Because he was asking me, well, what is going to make this time different? What
Yeah.
is going to make this change stick? And
Yes.
that was a question that all of a sudden it flooded me with. I have tried this so many times and I have failed.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that I need to come up with an answer right now to why this is going to stick?
Right.
And I, I lost it.
Right. I
Um,
believe it.
but the person that I was 6 months ago is not who I am now.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Do I have days that are bad? You
Yeah.
bet.
Right.
But my decisions are better. I know that eating salad is healthier for me than fries.
Sure.
So I take the salad option. Like that's something
Wow.
6 months ago I'd be like, no, give me the fries and put cheese on it.
Wow.
You know?
Interesting. And you're feeling
Yeah.
almost pulled to that decision.
Yeah. Because I
Wow.
feel better.
Powerful.
I feel better when I eat that way. And it's like
Yeah.
a conversation again with Coach Rachel is that when we start to eat better, it changes the environment in our gut.
Yes. 100%.
And so as we eat better foods, our gut says, hey, you need to be eating better foods.
Yes.
And so that change has happened. Now, do I eat fries? Yes. Do I pay for it afterwards? You bet I
Yes.
do.
That.
I mean,
Oh, good.
yeah,
I'll tell you a second.
it's just it's the little things like that that help reinforce
Yes.
that doing better for myself is the right option.
That's awesome.
I've always, as nurses, and we've seen many times before, we take care of everybody.
Yes.
We put ourselves on the back burner and help everybody else. And I've learned with this program that I am just as important as everybody else.
Yes.
And if we don't take care of ourselves, we hear it all the time in nursing burnout. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of other people.
Yes. That is a
And
powerful new belief. Yeah. Talking
yeah,
about beliefs. Like, I would even go as far to say your well being is more important than everybody
yeah,
else's. Now, of course, there's always that initial, when I say that out loud, I'm sure there's ears that hits that people go, well, that's selfish. Well, no. Like, you will get some benefit. Oh, you'll get a lot of benefit, actually.
yeah,
But you will serve people better when you are taken care of. Think of like when you're on an airplane. What is the first thing they tell you? Hey, if there's a drop in cabin pressure, the mask will come down. Do they say, put it on the kid first? Put it on your spouse first? No. They say,
yeah.
before you do anyone else, put it on yourself. Why? Because if you can't breathe, you ain't no help to the kid
Right,
that's alive. You're dead.
right,
So it's the
right.
same thing. It's like you have to take care of yourself first, even if that means intermittently in the very short term, somebody doesn't get as much of your attention. Because if you zoom out, again, this is a lesson in zooming out. If we zoom out and look at the big picture, you will give so much more to the people that you are impacting, whether that's as a caregiver to your patients, to your kids, to your husband, to your spouse, to your parents, to whoever. It is
Mhm.
such a powerful belief to have that when you take care of yourself, it is like, call it whatever you want, selfish or not, but you can take care of everyone else way better. And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, and 6 months ago, I didn't want to do anything because I was 25 pounds heavier.
Right.
My joints hurt. I couldn't, it was to the point I couldn't bend over and tie my shoe without getting out of breath. Okay.
Wow.
Like it was bad. And I was done. I mean, depression, was it depression? Yeah, probably some of that in there as well. But
Yes.
I couldn't I mean, what kind of nurse am I to let myself be in that condition?
Yes.
And that's when I look back, I think, oh, that was bad. Like I put myself in that position and I was helping people, but how much better am I helping people now that I feel better?
Yes.
That that I feel healthier.
Yeah.
I have more energy. I have the ability to say like, "Oh no, hey guys, you sit down. Let me go take care of this patient." I've I mean, I've I feel better overall, and so I feel like you said, I can help people more because I've helped myself.
Yes. It's crucial.
I'm in a better condition and I'm in a
Yeah.
better place to help other people.
And like that's great. And I mean that is extremely powerful, especially if that's like a big part of our identity is being the hero, helping others. But like the other piece to that I will just say is like, you deserve to feel great. You
Yeah,
deserve to feel amazing. So even if that is the byproduct, it's like, oh my God, that's incredible. Like even if you weren't a nurse, even if you weren't helping others per se directly in your line of work, you still deserve to feel great. You still deserve to
right.
feel amazing because, you know, you are conscious, you're human. You have that
Yeah,
innate gift. This goes back to what we were talking about actually on that first 7-day challenge call where it's like, we all have inherent worth. We all have these $1 trillion bodies, and somebody out there listening might say, well, maybe that guy does because he's in shape, or that woman does because she's in shape, but no, not me. I'm whatever. But the truth is, like, you can answer this question, or you can get to this realization very quickly. If somebody offered you $1 million for your site, would you take it? And the answer usually is no. What about 10 million?
mhm,
It's getting more tempting, but no, I want to be able to see. And I can promise you, even if you took the money, a week would go by, a month would go by, and when you actually are in the position of not having sight, you'd pay to have it back.
yeah,
So when you go down the laundry list of all these things that we're given at birth, we forget their gifts. We forget about our
yep,
inherent worth. But the fact is, you have a $1 trillion body if you add it all up. And that's
yeah,
empowering to think about. It's empowering to think that, wow, I'm given this gift and I'm worth so much. And I mean,
yep,
we enable that belief. It's like, I think I remember I heard, have you ever heard of Zig Ziglar?
yes,
Yeah, yeah. So he was the first guy that I had started listening to on personal development. And he said, how would you treat a, a one of those horses that wins the Triple Crown, right? If you're familiar with the Kentucky Derby, it's
yeah,
like these are horses that when they win like I think today's day and age like $10 million or something for first prize. How are you going to treat that horse? It's like, oh my God, you're going to make sure he's like well groomed. You're going to make sure he's eating the
yep,
best food. You're going to make sure that he's like, in a great stable, getting enough sleep. He's not stressed. You're going to make sure that like
yep,
the person's coming by manicuring his hooves, like the whole thing, right?
yeah,
And it's like, what's that horse worth? What can you buy it for? It's like, I don't know, $5 million. Who knows, $1 million. And it's like, well, how would you treat a $1,000 dog? You know, Argumentally, like you have a dog, right? How much did you buy your dog for as a puppy?
I rescued him from a
Rescued.
rescue, actually.
Perfect. So he
Yeah,
was free. I love it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
mine too. I rescued mine too. He was free. It's like, how are we treating him? Oh my God. We give him the best food. We give him all the pets.
oh,
We give him all the
he's
love. We give him
he's
all the
probably the
walks.
best taken
Right.
care of family member. Yeah,
Yeah. But then sometimes we put the light back on ourselves and we go, well, hold on a sec. Even though, like, our worth, because we don't think of it that way, we treat ourselves like garbage. When it's
yeah,
like, we are the most expensive asset that we could ever own. Our physical bodies have so much worth in them. And like then you put that into the mind and it's like, oh my God, your mind. Like the power to think a thought. Like crazy. It's amazing. So, I know I'm going down a rabbit hole, but just the idea is that yes, we have so much inherent worth, and once we can gain new evidence to support that as well, it makes this whole journey easier. Because now it's like we're compelled. It's like if you had a really nice car that was worth, 50 grand or whatever, 30 grand or 100 grand or whatever, we'd take all the care of that. Let's put that care into you because you're worth it.
Yep.
And, hopefully there's someone out there that, maybe this just clicks for one person and they're like, oh, I've never looked at it that way. And this puts them on the path. Man, this is awesome. I
Yeah.
can't believe we've already been talking 36 minutes. This flies by.
Crazy.
If,
Well,
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, if there was someone out there, can you hear my son in the background? I think he's,
No.
oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't think he's excited to come back inside. He must be coming in from the outside. He's crying. But I was going to say, what would be your word of support, encouragement? If you could say something that could pierce the veil and get through to someone that maybe, actually even better, if you were listening, the you from 6 months ago, if the you from 6 months ago was listening to this now, what would you tell that version of yourself to do? What would you give them for
Wow.
advice? What would you help them understand?
Well, looking at where I am now from my 6 month ago version, I would tell her, you can do this. You are in a valley right now. You are in despair. You don't see the light, but the light is there. It takes baby steps, one thing at a time. And that's one thing I learned on your 7-day transformation that I did, the free one, was that all it takes is increase your protein. Just one thing.
Yeah.
It's just one change that can make the difference that starts the other changes in happening.
Yes.
It's not an all for one,
right.
Go for it, do everything at once.
Right.
Because you have to take it step by step in order for things to click, in order for things to be understood. So I had to understand the importance of my water. I had to understand the importance of increasing protein because you have to have that as a building block for your body, And it's those simple, well, if I can do my water and I can do my protein, well, sure, I can do a workout once a week. And then you go, well, you know what? I could probably do 2 workouts a week. And it's the slow builds. There's no hurry. There's no hurry in this process. It is one step at a time. And I think that has been the key for me from 6 months ago to now, is all of it doesn't have to be done at one time.
Right.
I don't have to increase my protein, increase my water. Gosh darn, get in there and get a full day workout 5 days a week. Right. Start simple.
Yes.
And you will find that the small habits lead to the bigger ones. And then here I am 6 months later, amazed at what I have done in the last 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, you're down, you said 24 pounds, right?
24, 25. I mean, it varies, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, about a pound a week.
Yeah.
And you've been doing without killing yourself, enjoying the process, and you see no end in sight. I mean, that's what we're looking for, right? I think, apart from the physical, because, apart from the physical changes, it sounds to me like, the mental change is really what's setting you up for the next 6 months, 6 years, 60 years.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to keep you on the path. I'm thrilled.
Well, it's knowing I can do it.
Yes.
Like it is simple.
And you have evidence.
Yeah.
You have 6 months of evidence that you can do it.
And I don't think it's ridiculous anymore. Because because I was like, oh, it can't be that easy. It can't be that simple. Like,
Right.
look at all, like, these results aren't real. I've seen these things
Yeah, it's all
before.
before and
That's not
after. Yeah, yeah.
that.
It's
Yeah,
Photoshop.
those are photoshopped. But
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's it happens. It is real.
Yeah.
And these, like you said, this program is for lifelong change.
Yeah.
And these simple daily habits are lifelong changes. I'm not reliant on, those other programs where I have to, live out of a box eating
Right.
food,
Right.
like I can go to the fridge and I can eat whatever the heck I want.
That's right.
I just have to be mindful
Yes.
of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And those are changes that can be sustained lifelong.
Yeah. I think, it gets to your point, you said before this, the mind was very black and white. It's like I'm on or I'm off. And
Yeah.
I think that the human brain, or at least humans in general, don't like gray area because
No.
it makes things hard to compartmentalize. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact is, that is the life we live. To your point, I can eat those things, but I have to be mindful. Somebody who's still in the black and white thinking, binary thinking of on and off, black and white, they hear that and they go, ugh, scary. I
Yeah.
don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, just like you experienced, it's not overwhelming when you just do one small thing at a time. And then you
Yep.
start to, instead of just having like a light switch on and off, you have a gradient, you have a dimmer switch where
Yep.
now you can be a little bit on or you can be all the way on. And this is how you get to your final goal when you realize that you've never been off the wagon in the first place. There is no wagon. It's a dimmer switch. It's,
Yeah.
and it's okay to be at 50%. It's okay to be at 80%. It's okay to be at 20% sometimes, right? And it's not
Yep.
about being perfect. It's about how zooming out enough over a year, 10 years, decades, what percentage were you on over that time? Because it wouldn't matter if you're 100% for 6 weeks every year or 6 weeks twice a year, because that's going to average out to be about 20%.
Yeah.
Instead, let's just go 60% year round, baby. And to your
Yep.
point too, the feedback loop kicks in, where now it's
Yes.
like you said in the beginning, which might have gotten you a little in trouble, but you're like, man, I'm loving this. Hey,
Yeah.
Rachel, give me more workouts. Let's do this thing. Like you're asking her. Wait, hold on. But that's what we're trying to do is create these positive feedback
Yeah.
loops, eliminate the bad ones, like stepping on the scale every week,
Yep.
and you get to your goal. Like human nature is always going to be to go away from pain and towards pleasure. So if everything that you do and that we can help with is giving you pleasure and removing pain, creating systems around it, that's how you win. And it sounds to
Yep.
me like you're winning.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
thrilled. This was a great
Okay.
conversation. I really value your time. I really appreciate you
Oh,
being
thanks.
here. And
Appreciate it.
yeah, of course. And
And hopefully my story touches somebody
of
because,
course.
I didn't think I could do it 6 months ago. And here I am today saying it works. You can do this.
Yes.
And a shameless plug, Coach Sharon's product on is it Catalyst for Life?
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing protein powders, just FYI. Cinnamon roll, amazing.
She's great.
But anyway,
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, whether this is now or whether it's even, months in the future, somebody's listening to this and they just can get to the fundamental belief that it is possible.
yeah,
I think that's what we would all, desire for them. That's awesome. I'm excited for the 12-month check-in. Well, we'll see where
yeah,
you're at,
yeah.
And then
Let's see.
And then the cool thing is even past when you're working with Rachel, it's like the 2-year check-in, the 3-year check-in. If this is really working, right, we should be able to check in at that point too. And even with the absence of a coach, it should still be working, right? And
Yeah.
that's what we
Yep.
want. That's where we want you to be, right? So I'm
Yep.
thrilled for you. If there is anyone out there listening, let me see really quick. We might have gotten a couple comments. I'll check really quick. But another shameless plug. Now, if there is anyone out there that is interested in working with either Coach Rachel or any of our coaches, and you're interested in hearing more about what we do and interested to see if it could be a good fit, feel free to click the link below. You can schedule a call with one of our coaches. to do your very own one-on-one arm body transformation planning session to see if it's a good fit. And we'll rock and roll. And let's see. I have to find the post. Oh, there were some comments that came in, but I did not see any of them. I was too tuned in. Charmaine said a lot of things. I can't read all the comments, unfortunately, but some of the last ones said, took the words right out of my mouth exactly. Baby steps adds up. In 6 months, I bet I will be surprised. Me too, Kylie. Yes. Charmaine says Coach Chase. I think Charmaine's working with Coach Chase right now.
Yeah.
And we have amazing coaches. I'm really thankful for the coaches that we've been able to bring on over the last few months. We have 6 amazing coaches. Coach Charity, Coach Rachel, Coach Sharon, Coach Andrew, Coach Chase, Coach Danielle. You can read all about them, their certifications and their background and all that on our website if you want to, but like really grateful. I think I joke around with the coaching team, but I say, hey, congratulations, because our coaching, like to become a coach on the team, we have a lower acceptance rate than Harvard. I think Harvard's acceptance rate's like 2% or something. We only bring in like 0.5%. So if all the applications we get, we bring on out of 200 applications, 1 coach. So
wow.
I'm like, hey, you're more elite than Harvard, baby. No.
Yeah.
It's funny. But okay, we've already been talking for 45 minutes. This has been a pleasure. We'll see you guys soon, and bye.
Bye, guys.